around 2006, Every Kid Wanna Be a Kid is a comic made with support from UNICEF and the Human Rights Special Secretariat, which starts with pastimes instead of the story? Makes sense. They wouldn't want to start with work right away, right? The cover informs us that the vacuum of inexistence can be used as a dump, breaking the perspective and making Angel look smaller than the others, while Smudge and his friend ask each other why only him and Jimmy 5 would have toes. Yes, I know about the sock. This is our character, exclusive to the story, Benedict. Maybe the second on Claus's list, who Smudge goes to meet at the dump, where he works with his parents collecting garbage to sell. And Angel shows up explaining to the kids when they don't understand that Benedict has to work. I like that they make sure to say helping with the house chores isn't work when they talk about cleaning their room. But little Angel still says once or twice, which can be misinterpreted, and that's far from the only problem. It's also good that they point out family's financial condition as the reason for child labor. Yet, this comes together with a child carrying sugarcane and working the field. Beforehand, they show a girl as a maid with various house chores, besides examples on the street, selling candy, cleaning windshields, shining shoes, and juggling. All of these cases may happen, but work on the countryside doesn't have to be that much to be abusive. Presenting the two like this, together with this guy demanding and the other guy taking money from the kid without complaining about them, feels like a problem. One might either read that work on the street is less bad than the countryside, therefore it ain't so bad in the city, or that the issue is being arduous, like the ones that get more focus, and that's not the issue at all. However, we have a section in particular that is a much bigger problem. The parents don't realize the harm working causes to kids, that kids need to play, study, that these things form a person's character and make them better. Come back here, Clayton Jr. First, notice the mom stays home and will run when she reads/hears what Angel says. This child could be kidnapped or worse. If an adult stays home and tells their kid to go to work for no reason, they do not care. And the comic itself says it's a financial issue. Second, poor families having less information is quite common, but only for things that aren't obvious. Why research foods recommended when you only have money for one or two options? Still, communities try to solve their issues, with creativity or working together. It's like that ridiculous idea that people who eat processed food just don't know there are healthier options. No, it's because it's cheap and there's little money. Third, no one thinks it doesn't matter what their kids do. If this mom cares to say, I'll stay home and you go to work, she has to have a very good reason, like a job that requires her staying home. This attitude assumes that they're dumb because they're poor, and it makes me want to put Angel in front of the Minotaur. And that name. They'll still talk about the hardship of kids that work and try to study being ostracized because they don't have the time to take a shower and put on clean clothes. And then Angel says she wants to be friends, and the smell goes away with the prejudice? Do you really think someone walking in the heat of Brazilian summer wouldn't go to the bathroom to wash their armpits? Or that kids wouldn't talk about the smell? No, genius. They think the kid is poor and mimic the elitism they've seen. The story is going to have a happy ending, Benedict's parents going into a recycling cooperative venture and saying he could go play and study. If he weren't forgotten as soon as the comic is over, it's longer than it needs to be, includes information without being too contrived, but not only we have art blunders here and there, like the whites of the eyes missing and a character that loses their beard and possibly rents one of the kids. That's because I haven't mentioned Maggie has to tell her dad not to rush a red light, and it even starts with Monica saying she convinced Jimmy 5 and they show him with a black eye. The narration is a bit confusing, with Angel giving info to the kids and the reader, but participating in the story, catching a dish that would be broken, plus the mom changing her mind, listening/reading what he says. And that's all not mentioning how suspicious it is to have just one black character in the whole story. I know if you talked about the racial issue, the comic might be twice the size, but nothing stopped them from having black characters before her. She just shows up at the school, notices the problem, doesn't do anything, until Angel shows up, and then she agrees with him. It feels like she's here just to say, see, we did remember there are non-white people, while clearly ignoring the racial factor that affects the family's financial condition, which you said was the reason, remember? Not to mention the unfortunate elitism here. Less than common names exist, but part of the poor people are dumb stereotype is saying they give their kids weird names. Because bigots are dumb, so they ignore Nicolas Cage's son and Penn Jillette's son. So when we suddenly have a mom that doesn't think of her son and needs an angel to speak to her, and whose name is Clayton Jr., I can only see this as the writer's prejudice. At least there's a happy ending, even if just by luck. And with that, we end our first Monica's month. Monica? I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please don't you forget to subscribe and hit the bell.